My daughter, my first child, my heir, my blood, turns 1. 1 year on this pale blue dot. As the moon strikes high in the sky on the evening of January 27th, my daughter will be 1 year old. And I shared my absolutely incredible artisan-made birth year baby pipe in my Chicago Pipe Show 2025 video. It's a beauty made by my good friend Stephen Cashwell, and the story is quite wholesome. I am so happy to have this pipe, which will undoubtedly be smoked every year on her birthday. And its maiden smoky voyage will be January 27th. It's gonna be perfect. I can't wait. Ah, shit. What am I gonna smoke? Well met, friends, my name is Adam and this is Get Piped, where we love to pipe. And today's piping is all about selecting a special pipe tobacco. Very specifically, my journey to pick a celebratory pipe tobacco for my daughter. So as mentioned just a moment ago before the intro, the idea is tied to a project that I started earlier this year. I believe my daughter was just born when I was looking into commissioning a pipe in honor of her birthday. Again, I cover the whole tale in my Chicago Pipe Show 2025 episode, which was a ton of fun to make. But to recap, my good friend Stephen of Cashwell Pipes, a native of Atlanta, Georgia, was commissioned to make my daughter Mari's birth year pipe. And this is a really fun and wholesome tradition in the hobby where pipers will commission an artisan maker to craft a birth year pipe for their children. The other tradition that you might have heard of is the Dunhill birth year pipe. The tradition is for you, the pipe smoker, to hunt far and wide for a Dunhill pipe made the year you were born. Why Dunhill? I don't know. Probably because they were, for a time, seen as like the chief pipe maker in the world. In fact, many old timers out there still kind of hold to that. I have my own birth year pipe, my own birth year Dunhill, carved, shaped, and finished in the year 1996. But pipe celebrating occasions like marriages or anniversaries or retirements are pretty typical in this sphere. And it's something I always encourage pipers to go buy into. It just kind of adds that physical and emotional buy-in to this hobby. So that's why I had Stefan get to work on a pipe for me in honor of my daughter Mari. The result was insanely perfect. Again, go check out the Chicago video for the significance and the meaning behind each aspect of the design, but for now, you can just marvel at it with me. And well, there I am, looking at this guy on the shelf, very excited to break it out for its inaugural smoke. I figured that evening of her birthday would be the perfect nightcap to a great day of celebration of love and growth and life. And by life, I don't necessarily mean just being alive, but like living. Like the dichotomy of my life and hers, the two intertwined. How I feel alive and have a small purpose in this great big, beautiful, scary, sweet, horrific, kind world. We will have a great party where family and friends and neighbors and maybe their babies and toddlers will come out and celebrate Mari. Mari will remember zero of it, but will certainly smile and laugh throughout. And I'm sure looking in hindsight, we'll still wish that we took more photos and videos. But one thing I do know for certain is that I'll gladly close the wonderful evening off, enjoying a ritualistic pipe by the fire. After baby is fast asleep in her crib, food and drink are cleaned up, and decorations are put away, and I'll retire out to the back, light a fire, enjoy a special pour, and smoke my daughter's birth year pipe. Now, in truth, I didn't think that very far ahead when I made this commission. I just knew I needed the pipe and it had to be a 2025, but It wasn't until a YouTube comment on that Chicago video that came up and I began to question the strength of my plan. The comment came from Darkest Darkify, who commented, "Have you considered aging a pipe tobacco and only smoking it on your daughter's birthday in her birthday pipe? Congratulations, by the way." And this turned my plan upside down. Short answer is no. I did not think about that. In fact, I hadn't thought about what pipe tobacco I'd even smoke at all. I figured I would just pick whatever was good, whatever I was maybe in the mood for. Maybe an older cellared tin or some kind of aged tin. I wasn't sure, but I really liked what he was getting at. And so I took it and I ran with it. Since that comment a few months back, I have been on a quest, a great quest, a grand quest for the perfect birth year pipe tobacco for my daughter's birth year pipe. And yes, you heard that correctly. Birth year tobacco. I took Darkest Darkify's advice, badass name by the way, and set out to collect as many tins of the selected pipe tobacco as I could. So I could crack open a new tin, new with quotations, every year on her birthday. So on the 5th year, it'd be her 5th birthday and it'd be a 5-year-old tin. 10-year-old tin. So on and so forth. However, this naturally adds more obstacles to the quest. For one being, how many do I get? Do I get 70 in case I live to 100? 50 years worth of tins? Call it there? How much would that cost? Pretty large upfront expense. Maybe I just do 18, far more manageable in terms of cost and a symbolic note of her coming of age. But then again, when exactly is coming of age? I expect she'll go to college, so maybe 22, 23 tins. How old are you when you get out of college? Maybe 30, in case she doesn't move out of the house until then. It's a good one. I don't know. So many questions were running through my mind. And on top of that, perhaps the blend I select is an aromatic, which doesn't even age well, right? Maybe that's bad for the 18 tin option, but probably pretty good for the 70 tin option. What about an English blend? Not the best type of tobacco to age either, but still will unlock some new experiences over the years, but definitely weighing off as time goes on. Pure Virginia, arguably the best decision in terms of aging, but will reach a peak sometime at the 20 to 25 year mark. I don't know. I really don't know. It started to get a little crazy in my mind, not gonna lie, but I decided to identify the blend first. My criteria was generally pretty simple. First, it had to be a tin, a sealed off, factory dated tin. That cuts out any of the local tobacconists like the Watch City or the Country Squire, or smaller blenders like Ken Byron Venture. It also rules out my dear LJ Peretti. Yes, it's in a tin, a paint can, but not factory sealed. Next, I wanted it, if possible, to be a flake. First thing is I like flakes. I like the method of preparing it. Feels like it makes you slow down the deliberate process. Kind of makes the ritual more meaningful and frankly drawn out. Plus, I think they tend to age a little bit better. Now, most importantly, it had to have a good name, a good meaning. A name that is at least linked to something or serves as something symbolic for the whole ordeal. Like, I wasn't gonna honor my daughter by cracking open a tin of Burley Flake number 4. Hell no. Or cross-eyed cricket. No shot. No, it needed a great branding and identity. Something fitting for my little princess angel. Like if there was like a red Virginia flake that was called Sweet Tiny Precious Princess who can do no wrong and will be a queen one day but never have a boyfriend. That's it. That's the blend. Give me 55 of those guys right now. But the name had to work, right? The first thing I did was hit smokingpipes.com. I then sorted all the tin tobacco by flake, then added a bunch of great options from Cornell and Deal and GLP. I ended up adding a couple of non-flakes as well because they potentially could have worked, for they checked all the other boxes and I figured I'd give it a shot. So here we are, here's the list. Before you are the tins that made it to candidacy, all having some kind of name that I could link to this special occasion in some capacity. Some stronger than others, sure, but that was only one aspect. Of course, I had to enjoy the blend too. If there was a tin called Daughter's Birthday, I'd probably be very tempted to have it on the list. And if I smoked it and it ended up tasting like a haunted bookshop, or worse, haunted bookshop tobacco, see what I did there? It's probably not making it past the first round. All that said, here were the candidates. From Cornell and Deal, we had just two, Bijou and Red Carpet. And from GL Peace, we had Ellipses Flake, Navigator, Quiet Nights, Sixpence, and the two non-flakes I had mentioned being Penny Farthing and Triple Play. Now I'll note that before this trial I had tried and enjoyed the majority of these blends, but I wanted a fresh mind when it came to selection. And over the past few months, I have been diligently combing through these pipe tobacco blends, smoking each in several different pipes at different temperatures outside, wet tobacco, dry tobacco, with coffee, with a good beer, Guinness. So many different trials, but I had to figure it out. And with that, I figured I should start with an already established favorite of mine from Greg Peace, Navigator. Navigator is a near perfect blend in my opinion. A delicious navy or sailor's flake with a bit of a twist. It's a Virginia flake with that iconic rum topping as you would expect, but the flake also features dark-fired Kentucky. Its smokiness and spiciness brings an incredible light and dark balance to this smoke. And after 2 puffs, I decided that this tobacco would not be the one for my daughter. No shot. The name was fitting, as it could represent her and I navigating through life as she ages, her navigation as a child into a young woman and into ladyhood, me as a father. Its downfall though? It tasted way too good. Way too good. I could not confine myself to smoking this one time a year in the month of January, maybe into February. There's just no way. It's just such a fantastic tobacco. I said, nope, this is a regular rotation tobacco. And it has been for some time. Next, I cracked open Penny Farthing. This is another favorite of mine, but it had been a while since I had had it. I thought this was a great contender, at first. See, this shag cut Virginia Perique is super fun and tasty. It's up there among my top Virginia Perique pipe tobaccos, and the idea of aging it over 20 years sounds really appealing to me. However, I just felt that the name was too far off. Sure, it was purple and the name evoked some fun and playfulness, but honestly, it just didn't satisfy the symbolic element that I needed. So I moved on. I went with something unfamiliar after that, a blend that I hadn't tried before, Cornell and Deal's Red Carpet. It was early on that I felt that this one would be the one. I mean, come on. I love Red Virginia, it's a flake, and it will age fantastically, and the name is poetic in the sense that I will forever roll out a red carpet for my sweet little daughter for the rest of time, and it just sounded like a great celebratory blend. After the first 4 or 5 bowls, I was ultimately meh. It was good, but not really great. I tried it in several other pipes and started to get better, but what I found best was to dry it out, like completely, kind of crispy. I now really enjoy the blend, but decided that it just wasn't quite there, which was unfortunate because the naming was just so great. I kept to the Cornell and Deal train and went with Bijou. This is an interesting pipe tobacco, and it is one that I've had before. I actually had it recommended to me directly from Cornell and Deal's master blender, Jeremy Reeves, at a pipe show several years back. It was really cool to pick up a tin directly from him by his recommendation. At the time, it was solid, but I decided to give it another shot. Bijou is the French word for jewel, and in our dictionaries, bijou is defined by a small, dainty, usually ornamental piece of delicate workmanship, and something delicate, elegant, or highly prized. I thought, well, that's pretty much the best fitting name, so I enjoyed a number of bowls while comparing it to some of the others on the list. I wasn't mega confident on this one, but I did enjoy it, so I at least made it move to the second round. I had a quick stint with GL Peace's Triple Play. This was a harder sell name-wise, but the symbology was kind of there. Earlier this year, I brought my little baby to her very first Red Sox game up at Fenway Park. It was such an incredible experience. We got her first jersey for way too much money, got me my first Red Sox jersey, and had a joy of a time. Additionally, baby, the wife, and I watched nearly every single Red Sox game this season, and we were happy to have made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. So for that reason, I pulled out the plug knife and got to work. I love this blend, it's fun, but decided to keep it more as a baseball, spring training, maybe playoff celebratory blend instead. Ellipses was next, but this complex blend of Burley, Virginia, Perique, Oriental, and Black Cavendish suffered the same problem that Navigator had. It's just too damn good. Plus, the naming wasn't really there at all. But this is a definite recommendation for anyone out there. This is definitely a top 5 piece blend for me. Finally, that brings us to Sixpence and Quiet Nights. I hadn't had Sixpence before, but I had enjoyed many cold nights of smoking Quiet Nights in winters past. After a few bowls of the dark, rich, mysterious, and maybe even ominous Quiet Nights, I had to move it to the finals. It's such a quality English mixture that might just be too good, but I could certainly look forward to smoking 1 tin a year in the winter. Sixpence also wowed me. I linked its name to wealth. Sixpence was an old British silver coin worth literally 6 pennies. Not too much, but it grew to represent luck and richness in other forms. I always thought true wealth or richness was found in love and family. Kind of a cliche, but it's definitely true. This flake is another Virginia Perique, but with some added dark-fired Kentucky. I really love this blend. In the end, it was these 3. Cornell & Deal's Bijou against GL Peace's Quiet Nights and Sixpence. As I smoked through the tins in random order, Sixpence was ultimately the first one to fall off. A super good pipe tobacco, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't stand up to these other 2 with this particular quest. For the last 2 to 3 weeks, I was torn between these 2. In truth, I love the idea of Bijou and its name, but on the other hand, I really enjoyed Quiet Nights. It's undoubtedly better. I also reasoned that the heavy, warming Latakia from Quiet Nights, smoked in late January and into the cold, raw February, would be pretty fitting. What about aging? Perhaps Bijou was better suited. It was ultimately a dizzying yet fun back and forth for these 2 blends. And in the end, the final decision came randomly to me. When my wife picked up one of those tins that I had actually left on the counter when she was cleaning up, and she holds it up and she says, "Is this the one?" Milliseconds before, I had no clue. But in that moment, I replied, "Yep." And that is the story of how I acquired 21 tins of Cornell & Deal's Bijou, the tobacco that I will exclusively smoke in honor of my daughter, beginning each year on her birthday. The tobacco that will help me celebrate the life of my little crown jewel, Mari. Thank you so much for watching. You guys rock. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and the Get Pipe podcast, and also purchase your copy of my new pipe smoking short story collection called Tales of Fire and Briar, Reflections for the Modern Pipe Smoker. I could talk forever, you guys know this, but for now, I am off to save the pipe smoking world. Once again, I don't know how I'll pull it off. But until then, you've all just been piped, and until the next piping, I'm out.
Ha ha ha!
Hi, Silly.
Oh, you have a cool